Okay, so dito tayo sa vector differential calculus. Okay? So, usually, no, vector is uh, vector. Okay, the topic vectors is being discussed in physics. Okay? But in physics, okay, there will be no additional information um, regarding the uh, plotting of vectors, no, in Cartesian planes. Okay, so ibig sabihin nun, meron siyang direction using angle lang. Okay. So dito, no, as a mathematics subject, no, we will just have to use Cartesian plane to indicate the direction of a vector. Okay, so as you can see from our physics, no, when you say vectors, those quantities in which it has a quantity, or it has a magnitude, and at the same time um it also has a direction. Okay, so yun lang yung vectors natin. Okay, so yun. Where scalar, no? Scalar is those quantities in which has only a magnitude but don't have a um, direction. Okay, so pakibasa na lang to siya. Okay, so yun. And at the same time, no, sa physics natin, no, we are not actually considering those um point where the vector, or where the starting point of the vector is located. Okay? So, as long as alam natin yung magnitude, alam natin yung kung saan yung direction niya, so yun lang. Pero dito, okay, meron tayong tinatawag na starting point, no, where we are considering the component, or um, the coordinates of that point in Cartesian plane. Okay, and trying to translate that point from tip from tail to tip. Okay, to find the magnitude, or to find the length of the vectors. Okay, so yun siya, pakibasa na lang din yun siya itong sa figures natin. So yun yung tinatawag nating translation. Okay, okay, so definition, so pakibasa na lang din yun siya. Okay, then okay, component of a vectors we have here, if I'm not mistaken, yung component ng vectors natin when it comes to physics, no, kinukuha natin yun siya using angle din, no. Kinukuha muna natin yung angle ng vectors natin, or yung kuan natin, rays natin, then after that we are finding its component using that angle, and using sine, cosine, and tangent. But in here we are having the component of a vectors by 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 uh, subtracting the x and y coordinates of the starting and ending point of a vector. So as you can see here, yung equation number 1 natin, a1, no, yung component, or yung component 1 niya, or a1 niya is x2 minus x1. Saka yung component number 2 niya is y2 minus y1. Component number 3 is z2 minus z1. Okay? So yun siya. Then naka-indicate din siya dito actually sa Cartesian coordinate natin. Okay? Again, when you say Cartesian coordinate, no, those coordinate in which they are in perpendicular, no, as you can see here sa figure number 167 natin. Okay, it has actually it has a component of x, y, and z. Okay, that are perpendicular each other. So yan yung tinatawag natin Cartesian coordinate. In short, it is a 3D or three-dimensional category of Cartesian plane. Okay, so yun. So example number 3, we have here components and length of a vector. Finding the components and the length of the vector. Okay? So sabi dito, the vector A with initial point P, which has a coordinate of 4, 0, and 2, and terminal point of 6, negative, terminal point of Q, which has a coordinates of 6, negative, 1, and 2, has the component of A1. So we have A1 natin is 4, 6 minus 4 kasi ending point natin or terminal point natin is Q, tapos initial point natin is P. So that's why final minus initial to find its components. Okay? So we have here 6 minus 4, negative 1 minus 0, and 2 minus 2. Okay? So yun. Okay? So, same pa rin actually sa physics natin to find the length of the vectors, no, or the length of or the magnitude of the length. Okay, given the components of the vectors, we have to use the yung tinatawag nating hype, ano tawag dito? Yung tinatawag nating, nalimutan ko yung pangalan nito eh. Basta, no, yung may square root, no? We have here r squared, no, or radius squared is equals to square root of x1, x2, and square root of x1 squared plus x2 squared plus x3 squared, no? Yung tinatawag natin, tawag dyan, nasa, so basta, no, pakikuan na lang, no? Basta nasamin ko, pero hindi ko nga lang masabi. Okay? So, yun. So, as you can see here, no, for us to be able to find the magnitude of vector A, we have here square root of 2 squared, no, yung component number 1, which is 2. So, 2 squared plus yung component number 2, which is negative 1 squared, plus yung component number 3 squared, which is 0 squared. Okay, so all in all, we have square root of 5. So, therefore, this would be the length of our vector A. Okay, so yun. So, vector addition, scalar multiplication. Okay? So, sa vector, meron tayong addition at the same time multiplication. Okay? But, the difference between, again, no, for your information or for your review, the difference between the addition of a scalar and addition of vector, addition of scalar is just, you will just have to add that one, no? Sa addition of vectors kasi, meron tayong dalawang case. Pwede kayong gumamit ng component method at saka pwede rin kayong gumamit ng graphical method. Okay? So, hindi, kumbaga, sa vector natin, hindi basta-basta ka lang makaka-add ng dalawang vectors, okay, without knowing the magnitude and the direction of the vectors. Okay? So, magkakamali ka kung diretso mo lang i-add yun siya. Okay? So, yun. So, meron tayong properties dito ng addition and multiplication. So, pakibasa na lang din. Okay, so ito rin siya, no? Scalar multiplication. When you say scalar multiplication, those multiplication, no? Multiplication of vectors with scalar, no? Ibig sabihin nun, pag magmumultiply ka ng scalar quantity doon sa vector, hindi magbabago yung kanyang direction unless nagmultiply ka ng negative, okay? So, magiging opposite yung kanyang direction. Okay? Ang magbabago lang is yung kanyang magnitude. Okay? So, pakibasa na lang dito siya. Okay? So, meron din tayong properties dito para sa multiplication. Okay? So, example number 4, we have here vector addition and multiplication by scalars. With respect to a given coordinate system, we have let A is equals to 4, 0, and 1, no? That would be the component of a vector, no? And B is 2, negative 5, and 1/3. Then, okay, for us to be able to add that, yun, ito yung ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na by graphical method, no? So, ibig sabihin, no, alam na natin yung mga coordinate niya sa x and y, x, y, z coordinates natin. Okay? Yung component ng vector ng A and B. So, therefore, we can directly add them, no? Okay? We can directly add them using addition of their components. Okay? Take note of that. So, is in here, no? A multiplication of negative sa A is negative 401, and multiplication of 7 sa A is 2807, and addition of A and B is 6, negative 5, and 4/3. Okay? So, yun. Now, question. Sir, what if ang given lang ng vectors natin is only the magnitude? Can we still add them? No? So, the answer is no. If the vector is of, or if the given quantity sa vectors natin is only the magnitude and not including the direction or the component um of that vectors, okay, you cannot add them. Okay? You cannot add the magnitude of one vectors to the magnitude of the other vectors. Okay? Kasi bakit? Madi-disregard mo yung kanilang direction. Paki-take note yun siya. Okay? So, minsan lumalabas yun siya sa quizzes natin. Okay? So, yun. So, definition, dot product, no? So, dito sa dot product natin, kung meron tayong dalawang vectors, no? Tapos, they are in some direction, no? At some starting point, okay, they have different direction at some starting point. We can find their dot product or outer um, inner product by using this formula, no? We have here a dot b is equals to a absolute value of a, absolute value of b, cosine of um, lambda, where lambda is the angle between the vector a and b. Okay? So as you can see here sa kuan natin, figure 178 natin. Okay? So yun. Paki-refer lang na lang diyan. So dito na lang tayo sa example number 5. Okay? So sa example number 5, we have here inner product, the angle between vectors. No? So we have find the inner product and the length of A and B, okay, as well as the angle between these vectors. Okay, so to find the inner product, we have to use the equation number 1. Okay, so we have A dot B is equals to A multiplied by 3 plus 2 multiplied by negative 2 plus 0 multiplied by 1. Okay, so as you can see here, hindi natin ginamit yung equation na kung ano, A absolute value of A multiplied by absolute value of B cosine of lambda, kasi hindi given dito yung angle between A and B natin. So mahirapan pa tayo kung kukunin pa natin yung angle between that two, no? So maraming process pa. So may formula tayo rito, no? May formula tayo rito na um, if you have to have the dot product of the two vectors, no? All we have to do is to multiply their corresponding components, no? As you can see here, we have 1 multiplied by 3, 2 multiplied by negative 2, and 0 multiplied by 1. Okay? So, yun. So, as you can see here, ang value natin is negative 1. Okay? And then, to find the value of absolute value, so, gagamitin natin yung equation number 3. Okay? So, absolute value of A is equals to square root of A dot A or is equals to negative 5. And absolute value of B is equals to square root of B dot B or is equals to square root of 14. Okay, so paano natin nakuha yung square root of 14 na yan? So, gawin mo lang is square root multiplied, squared of the component. So, for example, the magnitude of B is square root of 3 squared plus negative 2 squared plus 1 squared. So, yun lang yun siya. So, total mo yan siya. So, we have square root of 14. So, yun yung magnitude. Okay? So, yung magnitude ng A na yan at saka yung magnitude ng B na yan, gagamitin natin yun siya to find the angle between that two equation using equation number 4. Okay? So, ito. Equation number 4. Okay, yan siya. So, yun. So, makukuha na natin yung angle which is 96.865 degrees. Okay? So, yun. So, work done by force. One of the application of the dot product is by finding the work done force expressed as inner product. Okay, yun siya. This is the major application. It concerns the body in which a constant force P acts for a variable force C, section 10.1. Let the body be given a displacement D. Then the work done by the P is displacement is defined as work P, absolute value of P multiplied by absolute value of D cosine of alpha, where alpha is the angle between the force P and the distance D. Now, as you can see here, no, as you can see here, um, yung P natin is meron siyang direction na pag ganito, tapos yung distance natin is dito, no, papunta rito. So kumbaga ito siya, no, ito yung mga case na where there is a, no, for example, ikaw, no, may tinutulak ka na kuan isang bagay pero yung direction ng force mo is pataas, no? So ibig sabihin yung sa contact between the object na tinutulak mo sa floor is may tire, no? So tire. So may gumagamit yung object na yun ng tire para maitulak mo yan siya papunta rito sa right side. Okay? So yun. So ibig sabihin nun, yung distance mo is papunta rito, yung direction niya, yung displacement mo, tapos yung force mo is papunta rito sa taas. So kukunin ko ang work niya is, no, take note that yung work is equals to force multiplied by distance, no? So yun. So dapat, no, the condition for work from your physics, the condition of work to use the equation, no, na force multiplied by this by the distance is that yung force mo should be in direction with your distance, no? So since dito hindi naman, so gagamitin natin yung angle, no? So we have here that yan actually yung application ng dot product, no? So yung cosine natin, yung cosine of lambda natin dito is yun yung component ng force natin dito sa D natin, okay? Para nang sa ganun is magkapareha sila ng direction, okay? So that's why here we have work is P D cosine of alpha, or we have P dot T. Okay, so yun. So yun lang yung application nito actually. So pakibasa na lang din to siya. Okay? Pakibasa na lang siya. Wait lang. Pakibasa na lang ito siyang sa continuation niya. Okay, ito. Pakibasa na lang to siya. Okay. So discussion lang yan siya about the um, dot product when in relation to work. Okay. So if you have any question about this topic, no, as you can see here kasi hindi natin lahat na discuss. Pero yung hindi ko naman actually din-discuss is lahat naman yun siya naka-indicated dito yung mga concepts. So pakibasa na lang. So I will let you to read this one, no? Para nang sa ganun is okay, hindi kayo maging spoon feeding about how to learn, okay, in this way, okay? So if you have any question, you may just have to reach me through our group chat or to our classroom in Edmodo. So um, you can just message me or you can just send me a question, no, about this one. So inshallah we will try to answer it, okay, as soon as possible before the prelim exam. So that's all. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.